This is Joshyblogz. We are here playing Bleak Dystopia. This is the review, my Bleak Dystopia review. Bleak Dystopia is a game with a generic name, which I always find is a warning that it's not going to be a very good game. And this was not exactly an exception, but it was way better than I expected it to. What you see me playing right now is sort of like an epilogue area that you can sort of glitch into once you finish doing the stuff you want to do. And there's just so much stuff all around for you to just walk around slowly and look at. This game is about walking around slowly and looking at things. And there's a lot of stuff to walk around slowly and look at. It's sort of a very zen experience. The environments are pretty. In this particular area, nothing is substantial. So once you get to this area, at the end, you become sort of a ghost that can pass through things. You still can't pass through like the stuff that from the first area, but this area, nothing that you see is real. It's all just intangible, and you can just go through anything. But it's a lot of cool stuff to look at, and some of it's interesting to look at from the inside as well. So it's not entirely a bad thing that you can pass through this stuff. But this is not the bulk of the game itself. This is just like a neat little thing that you find afterwards. The game itself is a game where you walk around and there are these brightly lit, I'm going to show them to you in a little bit, skeleton people with papers. And so when you get to each skeleton person, you collect a trophy. And once you collect them all, it gives you the platinum. And it takes a little longer than you'd expect, especially with all this, as you can see with the walking. There's 3 different directions to go. 2 outdoor directions and 1 where you go inside a shopping mall that's been destroyed, and you talk to all the people in that area. Or even you don't talk to them, you find the corpses and you find the paper and read it. And the stories are okay. Some of them are pretty good. Some of them are like a little, they're all about a page long. They're like a few paragraphs, a page to 2 pages long, and some of them are pretty interesting. Some of them are harrowing and tragic. There's a problem with the translation, most likely, and there's a lot of typos to be found that make them a little more entertaining than they're probably meant to be. Sometimes I find them more humorous than Bleak, but I thought they were acceptable. There's a lot of them. There's like maybe 10 to 20 in each area. So you're gonna be walking around finding the different spots with the skeletons, with the glowing skeletons, and you find them and you read them. And if you do all the readings, it takes up a bit of time, and there's like a little hefty bit there. I think of it as 3 different gameplay sections going in each different direction. Although you could do it all in one session. You could. It's just that you walk so slowly that I think it makes more sense to just quit out of the game and go back. And then there's also another session you could potentially have where you walk around and you listen to an audio that plays over the game. So what I would recommend doing is doing that first. Just walk around. Don't go up to any of the skeletons. Just listen to the audio and get that story. Then quit out and lower the volume on that story, because that'll play no matter what. And then do some sessions where you walk around and interact with the skeletons. And so doing it that way, you wind up getting 4 play sessions out of the game. And then afterwards, you can find this Easter egg section by dropping off the side of a building and into this final area where you can just go wherever you want. And there's just tons and tons of like aimless, strange, bleak dystopian city for you to wander through. And yeah, it's not that much there, but it's more than I expected, for what it was. I got this game, I think, very cheap. I think I paid like $1 for it or something, so I feel like I did get my money's worth. Now I'm going to show you, there's no saving in the game. So Yeah, like I can't return to this spot if I wanted to now. Now that I've went back to the menu, so now all I can do is start a new game, and that's what I did. I started new games. Like once I got to the end of one area, I would just start a new game to go the other direction rather than walking all the way back, because it's kind of boring with all the backtracking you'd have to do otherwise. So you start the game. It's like this, and you're just walking. And then some dialogue will play, and I've lowered the volume on that voice dialogue, which is fortunate for this review because I wouldn't want you to hear it over me. But if you listen very carefully, you're going to hear the voice dialogue soon. And there's also some very tiny subtitles where you can read the dialogue. And those subtitles are too small, which is not a good thing. Points off for that, certainly. But, you know, for what this game is, I'm going to rate this game kind of kindly. I'm a bit fond of this. I think they did okay. There, can you hear the voice? And you can see those tiny subtitles? That's the narrator. And so that's one playthrough, is just walking all around through this dystopian city and listening to that. And then there's another playthrough for you where you go off in this direction. And talk to all the little skeletons over here. I'll show you what happens when you talk to the skeleton or read the paper from the skeleton. You just walk up to the skeleton and then the paper pops right up for you to read. So then you go up and you can read it. Soldier. When I was 30, I got recruited to a distant land to fight in a war. And you can read the story of the soldier. And so there's this direction. There's sort of like a little story, a little group of people for you to talk to, or skeletons for you to get their stories in this direction. There's another group off in this direction, and a third group up inside this building. So I got 4 playthroughs. One where I walked around and listened to the story, one where I went this way, another one where I went this way, and another one where I went straight into the building and explored everything in the building. And at that point I was pretty much done. And then after that, if you go up onto the roof of this building and then fall off the side in the opposite direction, you can go explore and see all the stuff that's out there, which is a lot. There's a lot of stuff out there for you to explore if you want to. And everything on the other side of this fence becomes intangible, and you can just walk through whatever you want and just you can walk through that building and see what's inside it. And it's all kind of weird and glitchy looking. And yeah, it's okay. I feel like I'm being very, very kind to this game. Keep that in mind. Like, arguably, this game deserves like a 3 out of 10, or at best a 6.5 out of 10. But I gotta go with my heart, and I like this game. It surprised me. I'm kind of into it all. This is neat, and I'm actually gonna give this game. You're gonna feel like I'm fucking with you, but I'm actually gonna give this game a 7 out of 10. And I almost want to go higher. I want to say it's like a 7.5 out of 10, but I feel like that would be ridiculous. So the highest I can bring myself to give this game is a 7. In fact, let's lower it to a 6.8. Because it's not, obviously you can look at it, it's not that good. If they had put in a run button, I'd have liked this game so much better, but you can't run. And if you can fly or double jump or run through this stuff, it'd be kind of awesome. With that being said, it's still kind of awesome just as it is. It's not that bad. So, yeah. Dystopia, 7 out of 10. I would say, if you're into weird cash grab, platinum game, walking simulators, this one is not that bad. I think this is my favorite character right here, is the Butcher. Not because of his story. His story's fine. I think there's some that have better stories to him. But I really like this weird skeleton rack of... He's like a skeleton person, and he's got a weird skeleton rack of meat thing there. I think it's one of the funniest ones. So yeah, Bleak Dystopia, 7 out of 10. No, 6.8 out of 10. I lowered it a little bit. Because 7 is a little ridiculous, but I almost gave it a 7. I almost gave it 7.5. But no, I'm calling it a 6.8 out of 10. Bleak Dystopia. I do recommend checking it out. I think it's weird.
When there was cooperation,
Worth
there was little that could not be achieved. That was how the Tower of Babel was built, right? Great buildings rose up, beautiful
So,
structures erected, and the
yeah,
cities
it's pretty weird.
Most houses had the same structure and size, treating everyone
Bleak Dystopia, 6.8 out of 10.
everyone should feel safe in. Teach the masses contentment. That was the unspoken rule of the government. They had to present a united front. Together they abolished the concept of money.
This is how you fall off the roof into like the infinite walking area, and then now you're home free. Now you can just go wherever you want. This is like the final Easter egg where you're just like an interesting little epilogue to a game where progression is not that meaningful, and you're just like, okay, I've done everything I can do, but wait, there's more. There's infinitely more. There's all kinds of crazy stuff for me to walk to and look at. Like way more than you think. If you go around like this corner over here, there's a broken like amusement park looking area with like a Ferris wheel that's smashed upon the ground. There's train tracks. There's all kinds of stuff. Way more than you think there would be. So yeah, I feel like I haven't even seen everything there is to see. And I probably never will because I'm too impatient. This is not that fun walking around like this. It's slow. But I feel like there's something there, and I can see myself like putting this game on with like a radio show or something, and just sort of like fiddling around and looking around all the corners and seeing if I spot anything new. It's weird, you know? It's more compelling than you think. So yeah, Bleak Dystopia, 7 out of 10. See y'all next time.